What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Baller Nation. It's time for to do another series review. This time, I'm doing the final series of the Eastern Conference first round. It's crazy how every single Eastern Conference series finished before any of the Western Conference series finished. Granted, I mean the Grizzlies series finished pretty much like within the next few hours of the series I'm reviewing today, which is the Atlanta Hawks versus the New York Knicks series. This is the first one I got wrong. I'm not gonna lie, it's the first one I got wrong. I got Philadelphia. I predicted Philadelphia to win in 6 games. They won in 5. I predicted Milwaukee to win in 5 games. They won in 4. And I predicted the Brooklyn Nets to win in 5 games, and they won in 5 games. So far in the Eastern Conference, I've been looking really good, but it's time for me to get one wrong. And I predicted the New York Knicks to take on the Hawks and beat the Hawks in 7 games. That did not happen at all. The Atlanta Hawks, props. Big ups Atlanta. Shout out Trae Young. Shout out Clint Capella. John Collins. DeAndre Hunter. The whole team was they were fantastic. They outplayed the New York Knicks, and I got one wrong. The Hawks ended up winning that one in 5. And what's actually kind of funny about that, I just want to say this real quick. It's kind of funny about that. In my podcast where I was predicting who was going to win each series, I said, listen, I think the Knicks will win this, but I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen these two teams play a lot this season. I specifically said this. I said, I'm predicting the Knicks to win in 7, but it's the kind of series where if the Hawks win in 5, wouldn't surprise me. And true to my word, I dropped my pencil. True to my word, that's the situation right now. I'm not even shocked. I'm like, I could have seen any result coming out of the series, and it's not even a surprise to me. It's the New York Knicks, for crying out loud. What do you expect? They surprised us in the regular season. The Knicks, they kind of showed us all, hey, check us out. We're on the radar. We're in the playoffs now. We got the 4 seed, but we're gonna get blown out in 5 games. And the thing is, with a lot of these games, a lot of them weren't even close. Trae Young just took it to the New York Knicks, and he hit him with a bow at the Madison Square Garden at the end of it too. That's what Trae Young did. Trae Young was amazing that series. He was fantastic. And if I'm being completely honest, I have to admit it. I did not know Trae Young was that good at basketball. And I did not expect Trae Young to be this good at basketball in the playoffs. Trae sort of looks like he sort of seems like a regular season kind of guy. You know what I mean? They say don't judge a book by its cover. Trae Young's cover is just, he's a fun guy in the regular season. He's going to go out there, give you 27, 28 points a game. He's going to hit all these fucked up shots. He's going to get a lot of these fouls, going to draw a lot of calls. But in the playoffs it's time that, it's sort of like, it's the day of reckoning or whatever it is, where you wake up and it's like, oh shit, this is a whole different game. And I thought that would be the situation for Trae Young. I thought Trae Young was going to come into the playoffs and get hit hard and have a rude awakening where it's like, oh shit, this is a whole different season. Now, granted, he was playing the Knicks, and the Knicks are fairly new to the playoffs. Very new to the playoffs. The entire team was never in the playoffs before. Pretty much the entire team. But Trae Young went out there and, in a series where I thought Trae Young would kind of get hit with a rude awakening that, oh shit, this is the playoffs. Trae Young was the rude awakening for the New York Knicks. He was. Oh shit, call an ambulance, but not for Trae. I thought Trae Young would be the guy who needed to leave in an ambulance, but now it's the New York Knicks. Trae Young called the ambulance for the New York Knicks. He got him up out of there. And he did it quickly, in a gentlemanly style, a gentleman's sweep, 5 games, nice and easy, ice Trae. And he hit the Garden with a bow at the end of it as well. That's disrespectful right there from Trae Young. You gotta love him. He kind of grew into the villain role, but it's weird. Everyone likes to say that. Everyone's like, oh, Trae Young is growing into the villain role. We look at Trae Young. He's the villain right now. There's a picture of him looking back at the people sitting at the Garden, and all these memes on Instagram saying Trae Young's the villain. But he's the villain that we're all cheering for. Unless you're a Knicks fan, we're all out here. You're like, yo, let's go Trae Young. Keep going, man. I love me some Trae. I want to see Trae Young go into the conference finals. I want to see Trae Young go into Philadelphia and beat him. I would love to see that. I've never been a big Trae Young fan. I've always been kind of harsh on Trae Young. If you look at my preseason rankings of where I rank Trae Young amongst the top 50 players in the NBA, I don't even know if he's top 30. Genuinely, I mean, if he is, he's barely. I'm gonna be honest. I never knew Trae Young was that good at basketball. I was like, bro, like I didn't know it was like that. I thought he was nice. I didn't know he was that nice. Holy shit, Trae Young. I mean, he proved me wrong, 100%. And he's a straight killer for doing that. As far as the New York Knicks go, look, the Knicks say surprises this year. At the end of the year, if you told Knicks fans at the beginning of the year that you guys are going to get bounced in the first round in 5 games, they're not going to be thinking, oh, we couldn't get to the second round. They're going to be thinking, holy shit, we made the playoffs. Holy shit, we won a playoff game at the Garden. That's ridiculous. If you told Knicks fans the end result of this season before the season began, they would have all taken it. They would have all been like, all right, let's go. Let's run it. I'm hyped for this year. If you told them that Julius Randle would have won Most Improved Player, they'd be like, all right, let's fucking go. If you told them D Rose will be back in the Garden, they'd all be like, all right, let's go. If you told a Knicks fan what their season would have had before the season began, they would have all taken it, 100%. Except for the delusional ones who thought that they were going to win a championship this year. Now, what will they do in free agency? And that's the big thing with New York, too. Looking forward for both of these two teams. I'll get to Atlanta in a minute, but for New York, the simple fact that they make the playoffs, the simple fact that they have a future here, they got some good young players here. Derrick Rose wants to stay. Guys like Julius Randle just won Most Improved Player. He looks really good. Struggling in the playoffs a little bit, but he's still good in the regular season. And you look at a guy like R.J. Barrett and a lot of the other players that New York has. I think Mitchell Robinson as well. I forgot about him, but he was hurt this season, I believe. I think he's still on the roster. I'm not 100%. Like, he might have. No, I think he's still there. He just was hurt, or maybe he played. I don't fucking know. No, I think he was hurt. But you look at this team, and all of a sudden, as the free agency market goes, New York, their free agency market's maybe for real now. Maybe a big free agent says, "Hey, why not test the water? Why not test the waters in New York?" They got the fan base, they got the passion, they got the desire. People want to see him win. The Garden is a very, very hyped place to play, especially in the playoffs, and the Knicks fans showed that as well. Maybe it's time that a big-name free agent comes to the New York Knicks. As LeBron James once said, maybe it's about damn time. As far as the Hawks go, looking forward for the Atlanta Hawks. They're going in a very tough series with the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks are they're going to be coming up against a team that, do they even have a starting center? Is Joel Embiid going to be okay? And if I'm Atlanta going into this next series, I'm not just trying to hang around this series. I'm not coming in here objectively being like, all right, 76ers are a 1 seed, a very talented team here. Let's see if I can get 1 or 2 games off them. No, I'm going in here. I'm saying, all right, look, their starting center is hurt. If he's playing, he's not going to be at 100%. Okay, if the Washington fucking Wizards can get a game off the 76ers, I damn sure should be able to get not only just 2 or 3, but I should be able to win this thing. If I'm coming in here, if I'm the Atlanta Hawks, I'm going in there and I've got full belief in myself that I can win this series. And off the cuff, I'm gonna be making a prediction video a bit later, but off the cuff, I'm saying if I'm predicting this thing, I'd probably take the Atlanta Hawks right now. Looking at how both teams have been playing and the fact that the Atlanta Hawks have, I think, the hottest player in the Eastern Conference other than anybody in that. They'd have the hottest player in that series. I was going to say they have the hottest player in the Eastern Conference other than anybody in the Bucks Milwaukee series or the Bucks Brooklyn Nets series, which by the way, just so we're all 100% clear here, I know it's only the second round, but for the Eastern Conference, this is the conference finals. The conference finals are happening right now. Milwaukee versus Brooklyn, that's the conference finals. Okay, like that's for first place. This Hawks versus 76er thing, that's the third place series. Let's just be real. In the Eastern Conference, that's how it is right now. That's the reality situation.